Commence primary ignition.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to VCN Transmissions. I'm your host, Colin Weaver, and we are here on a Friday getting ready for what is going to be the busiest month for Star Wars fans of 2026. I can't even imagine what next year is going to be like. But before we get started, there is a lot to look forward to. For example, we have Boonta Eve. That's going to be happening in Texas the same weekend as Rebelscom Con. They announced the guest for the upcoming event. Go and check it out on the website as well. Again, there's so many great things that are going to be happening this year for VCN. There will be a huge presence at the next coming convention, so stay tuned for that. But there's a lot of Star Wars news to talk about. We have we just got a new poster for Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run with Mando and Grogu pretty much taking over that ride, and I'll explain more about that. And then also, if you haven't yet, which actually, no, I don't think you can because I believe it's all sold out. For IMAX on May 4th, they are showing I believe the first 20 minutes of footage of the Mandalorian and Grogu. So if you had the opportunity to get those tickets, that's super exciting. I got mine. I got two, so we're super stoked for that. And then also Burger King is going to be doing some Star Wars toys and food, and it just carries on the tradition of Star Wars taking over fast food places. I remember when Revenge of the Sith came out, and I was stoked because it came out on my birthday, number one. Number two, they had really, really cool toys and things like that. So we went there, and then we went to the theater. And it's awesome that they're doing that again with Burger King. So yeah, super, super exciting. But yeah, so let's start with Smugglers Run. So this ride is getting a do-over. I mean, a makeover, and basically there's new missions. The New Republic hired Din Djarin and Grogu to kind of keep an eye on Hondo while they're out in search for new potential bases for the New Republic. And when they're on these adventures, they'll be being chased by the remnants of the Empire. You've got Tatooine, you've got Tatooine, you've got so many other planets, Bepson, Endor. Yeah, so it's going to be great, and Coruscant at some point, and then engineers actually get to choose where you're going. So super, super exciting stuff there. And again, this launches on May 22nd, on the actual day that the film comes out. So that's super exciting. I will definitely be there at some point this year. But I love that I get to go into this having, of the mindset that I used to as a cast member when I used to work there. So it is going to be really cool to step into that new world and see what elements of the operation are still the same but different. So I'm very, very excited for that. And then not only that do we have that going on that day, you also have the actual movie coming out. And on May 4th, they're actually going to be doing a IMAX screening of the first 20 to 25 minutes. I apologize for not having that at the top of my head. But yeah, so they announced that, and it sold out pretty quick, which is, you know, um, pretty cool. I know some people were kind of thinking about going, maybe not going um, because they just want to experience the full thing when it comes out. I want to go just because, you know, it's just something to add on to the crazy day that May 4th is. So I am super, super excited to see what ends up coming out of that. And who knows, they might have some exclusive fan IMAX posters when you walk out, something. So you never know. But yeah, so if you haven't had the opportunity to get tickets, I don't think you can anymore because, again, I think it's sold out. But stay tuned for our review when we go on May 4th. And then um, Burger King is going to be doing uh, a bunch of toys and Star Wars themed food for the movie, and that actually starts on May 4th. And you can also, there's actually a lot to do on May 4th because you have the final episode of the two final episodes of Maul Shadow Lord, and then you also have um, the new Fortnite update where it's basically a bunch of Star Wars games into one, and then I guess that will be part of the actual Fortnite game going forward. So you'll have the option, and people are recreating Star Wars Battlefront. People are making these open world games. So I'm really excited to see what they end up doing with it. I was never like a big Fortnite fan, but when they added the Star Wars stuff last year, I definitely tuned in more, and I was like, okay, all right, this is pretty cool. So I'm excited to see like a whole game mode where, you know, as a bunch of these planet options, people have recreated Scarif, people have recreated a whole open world in Tatooine where there's like sand crawlers and stuff. So I am super, super excited for that. Um, and then you have the option to go to the IMAX stuff. If you're part of the 501st, you know, that is always the busiest day of the year for us. So happy trooping to everyone that is part of the Revolution, the Mercs, the 501st. Have fun. It's gonna be a blast. For Hayden, technically this will be his first. Yeah, this will be his first May 4th of my son. So we are very thrilled about that. Update for Brooke. We are working on her Jawa costume. She actually just got her sound glove in. We bought the correct material for it. We got her blaster printed and everything. So we're on the right track for that. For May 4th, but also Space Dive. If you don't know what Space Dive is, go and check it out. They actually just dropped a really cool update. It's basically a Star Wars Renaissance fair. They won't let you into to the actual area unless you're wearing a Star Wars costume. It's so immersive. It's so incredible. If you love Star Wars, if you love immersion, go and check out Space Dive. I believe there are still some tickets available, but yeah, go and check it out. I will be there as a couple of different costumes, Chewie, TK, including my civilian outfit. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so super exciting. And then Oscar Isaac recently had a interview a couple of days ago where he said he was open to returning as that character if the world was still there, is what he said. And they also went. He didn't get the chance to see the Hunt for Ben Solo script, so I think having Poe come back would be really cool. You know, of some type of hint of him in the Starfighter movie would be cool. And I know they already said that there was going to be no direct connections to the sequels or anything, even though, you know, it takes place after the sequels. I think it would be really cool if they had some type of hint of Poe, just because, you know, Poe is one of the coolest pilots, right? You know, everything that he did in the sequels, just pilot wise, was so cool. So if there's not even any type of acknowledgement, I would be surprised. Just because, you know, we love to see it. So yeah, so hopefully we get more of that. And then for Maul, Shadow Lord, this dropped, which is pretty cool. For those who are listening, this is a sneak peek of one of the upcoming episodes. So 2 Inquisitors are there now. We talked about it a couple of days ago when we had Will and Grayson from the Determined focused on, of what the ending of the show, well, of the season was going to look like and what should we expect out of it. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what comes out of this. So yeah, super super exciting stuff. But yeah, and then Star Wars Celebration. We also talked about that on the last episode. I'll dive deeper into it, and because there's a lot to talk about for Star Wars Celebration. But the tickets go on sale on May 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you've never gone to Celebration and you want tickets, and I know Spencer is planning on hopping on once a week to like talk about Celebration, what to look forward to, and all this stuff. And I think that's a fantastic idea. I'm just gonna kind of put my my word out there too, just because this will be my 5th one. So I've seen Star Wars Celebration change a lot over the years. It looks like the VIP is definitely different than what it normally is. And then, ticket wise, get there early. We're being crazy and we're going to have 5 devices up. Not saying that Star Wars Celebration tickets sell out quick. VIP does, though. Take a note of that. VIP sells in seconds. So if you want VIP, try your luck. Have a bunch of devices out, but I'm being safer than sorry, just because I know this is the biggest year for Celebration. So I'm going to be crazy, and my wife and I are going to have 5 devices up just to make sure that we are getting those 4-day passes. So we are locked in and we are ready. That's happening on May 6th, 2 days after May 4th. It's a Wednesday. May 4th is on a Monday this year, which is crazy. But yeah, so, and don't know if they're doing the lottery system again. They probably will. For those who don't know the lottery system, basically you put your hat in the ring for like the big main panels that they want. Over the years they've had something called like the Lucasfilm panel, and it's just like a over at the main Celebration stage, you go there and they just kind of drop all the big things that are coming out of Lucasfilm. I know in 2022 it was like Willow, it was Andor, it was Obi-Wan. They talked about, for a quick second of The Mandalorian, like, season 3 and Ahsoka, like at that one in particular, and including Indiana Jones. The other cool thing is like you don't know what to expect out of it. I remember when I went to the 40th anniversary panel, George Lucas, Harrison Ford, and John Williams showed up, and then at the Lucasfilm panel in 2022, that one was really cool because John Williams, not only did he play some Star Wars music, but he played Indiana Jones as well. And I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, so that was really, really cool to see in person. So for the lottery system, just hope for the best. If you're VIP, you're pretty much guaranteed. So nothing to really worry about there if you end up getting VIP. But yeah, so that's really it for the news. I'll talk more, but my host isn't here. We're trying to figure that out with Hayden because having a kid and having a podcast and his sleep schedule is all over the place. You never know what your schedule is going to be half the time, so we're going to work on that. But Hayden's doing great. He turns 1 next month, which is also crazy. I can't believe it's been a year. So we're really excited about his future, and he'll be choosing his lightsaber colors at some point. Don't you guys worry. But yeah. And then I've been really busy with my small business making Wookiee suits. I just got this Black Chrysanthemum done. ship that one out. Starting to work on the next couple this summer. We'll definitely be busy with that. I'll be traveling a lot to different conventions, doing interviews. Very, very exciting stuff. Working on projects. So I am very, very excited. But yeah, looking forward to the future. Thank you, everyone, for listening. May the force be with you forever and always.
Oh,